Hendry takes GoFundMe title for October. Continues to make bank while sitting in jail. Does he have DeCastro to thank? DirectD has phantom probation and warrant quashed in Arizona. Was weird screw-up to blame? Plus, DeCastro responds to LVMPD and has a hissy in his Friday night live stream. All this and more on this edition of Auditing Insanity. Good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Auditing Insanity newscast powered by ReallyCoolNews. I'm AI Johnny Jones, and I'm here to remind you that these newscasts are now available between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. Eastern Time every day. Even with the time change set to screw everything up, we'll be out around the normal time tomorrow. We got tons to talk about today, so let's stop speaking and have you focus on
Delete Laws responds to motion for judgment. Attorney Michael Mee, representing Jose DeCastro, attempted to rebut the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department's second motion for summary judgment in a new filing in the case on Friday. Mee's motion essentially argues that the officers involved in the arrest of DeCastro should be held liable for searching DeCastro after arrest, as the arrest was illegal and the search was retaliatory. He also argues that the police do not have discretionary immunity for the arrest, as the court has already found that a reasonable jury could find that the arrest itself was unwarranted, as found by the state court overturning the charges upon appeal. As previously noted, despite the outcome of the motion for summary judgment, this lawsuit is still going to go forward on the following grounds. 42 U.S.C. Section 1983 Fourth Amendment excessive force and excessive force claim against Officers Bork and Sandoval based upon Nevada Constitution. 42 U.S.C. Section 1983 First Amendment chilling claim and free speech violation claim, and a claim based upon Nevada Constitution against Officer Bork and Sergeant Torrey. 42 U.S.C. Section 1983 First Amendment retaliation claim and free speech violation claim based upon Nevada Constitution against Officer Bork and Sergeant Torrey. 42 U.S.C. Section 1983 selective enforcement and unequal police action claim against OFC Bork and Sergeant Torrey as to theory of selective arrest based upon exercise of constitutional rights. 42 U.S.C. Section 1983 selective enforcement and unequal police action claim for OFC Bork and Sergeant Torrey as to theory of selective arrest based upon exercise of constitutional rights. Nevada state law battery claim as to OFC Bork and OFC Sandoval. DeCastro ignored the filing in his Friday night live stream, instead focusing on more videos of police officers behaving badly and on his rebranding to First Amendment Auditor and his launch of TeamDLZ.com. The activist promised uncensored reaction videos to what he was displaying on the live stream over on TeamDLZ.com as part of the paid memberships. He said that the videos on the site featured his extreme slowed-down analysis of the wounds suspects suffered during the arrest, along with his expert analysis of the torture they suffered while in handcuffs. DeCastro's Patreon account picked up no new memberships on Friday, remaining at 52 overall members and 5 paid members. His new First Amendment Auditor YouTube channel now is up to 361 members as of press time. He took in $106 in super chats during the live stream.
Crime pays. Hendry wins GoFundMe for October. Hendry's association with Delete Laws Jose DeCastro paid off in October, as the jailed YouTuber, activist, and sometime chemical dealer took the individual top spot with $389 in donations to his GoFundMe. Hendry has been jailed since mid-October after having his bond revoked in a felony harassment case after picking up new, unrelated charges. His case has been mentioned by DeCastro multiple times, which corresponds to major direct donations to Hendry's GoFundMe campaign. DeCastro is also taking direct donations that he says he is distributing to Hendry's commissary account at the jail after Hendry had been on a hunger strike for the first 2 weeks of incarceration. Hendry expressed the belief that the food was being poisoned by the jail in order to eliminate him before his upcoming trial. While Hendry took the singles crown for the month, the overall crown went to Sean Paul, Long Island Audits Reyes, who pulled in a combined $423 over 3 campaigns. Second on the individual list is our own ongoing expenses campaign with a $230 take for the month, down almost 50% from September. A close third is Reyes Support Freedom Stand Against Tyranny Together Fund, which took in $228 for the month. Next up is newcomer Liberty Troll, whose incarceration helped him bring in $185 for the month. This is followed by Reyes Support the Fight Against Tyranny and Corruption Fund at $160 for the month. Christopher Direct D Ruff's Help Direct D Clear His Name Fund is up next with a $100 take. Reyes' third campaign on the list, his Unlawful Arrest and Constitutional Rights Fund, took in $35. Finally, Christopher Denver Metro Audits, Cordova took in $20 for the month. Cordova's failure is strange as despite being jailed and having Direct D campaign for him, Cordova only managed to pull in 2 donations of $10 for the entire month. This may be due to his extreme unpopularity or the fact that Direct D only half-heartedly campaigned for him, but it's a huge downer when compared to the others who were incarcerated in October. Notable in his absence is Jose Chili DeCastro, who suspended all of his GoFundMe accounts in September. DeCastro is taking direct funding towards his Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal accounts as a replacement for the direct campaigns. Hendry came in second for Friday itself, with a $20 donation, but fell to our own ongoing expenses campaign, which took in $50. We still need your help. Despite the GoFundMe market being dead, this publication is funded by your donations along with what little we make from our YouTube channel per month. While we did achieve full monetization on YouTube, we still need help to get through monthly expenses and keeping the lights on to bring you the paper and the newscast each day. If you can afford it, please consider donating to the GoFundMe run by this very channel. All donations literally go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing news stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. If you can't afford to contribute, please watch the advertisements on our videos, like, share, subscribe, and comment. You can help by doing next to nothing, and we thank you in advance for pitching in. Direct D cleared a probation violation. A victorious Christopher Direct D Ruff went live on Friday with news that he was able to correct a mistake by the state of Arizona and have a warrant for his arrest quashed for a probation violation from a 2021 arrest in which Ruff did not receive probation. Confused? So was the state of Arizona. Ruff was originally arrested for 3 felony counts of aggravated assault on a police officer and 1 felony count of resisting arrest back in 2021 after he was arrested while recording officers with other auditors. He was able to have the charges reduced to a single misdemeanor count, and he agreed to 40 hours of community service without probation. As he stated, he agreed to the reduced charge as his partner was pregnant with their second child, and he wanted to have the case behind him to focus on his new child. Somewhere in the verification of his community service, someone also assigned probation to Ruff. The probation was for a term of 3 years and was unsupervised. A 2023 review of his probation saw that Ruff had never reported in, and a warrant for his arrest was issued. Ruff discovered the warrant when he was doing a warrant check on himself 2 weeks ago. It was news to him as he never agreed to probation, nor was he assigned to a probation officer or had his initial meetings with anyone from the department. The YouTuber contacted a lawyer friend upon finding the new warrant and immediately had the friend file a motion to quash the warrant and end the mystery probation. After a hearing, the warrant was quashed and probation was removed this week. Speculation from everyone involved was that his was a screw-up on the part of the probation department, as they had never had a case where they needed to verify community service hours for someone who was not on probation. Seeing the lack of probation, it was just added in the paperwork without informing Ruff. Ruff noted that he still had 5 other active warrants in Arizona, but unlike others, he was able to get the mistaken probation resolved and the warrant terminated in a 2-week period without fuss, fundraising, or drama. The original live stream featuring Ruff's announcement was briefly down for apparent editing early Saturday morning. It is unclear what changed while it had been unable to view on YouTube for roughly an hour. Craig Hendry addresses his latest court drama. Citizen journalist and political prisoner Craig Hendry gave a muddled report from jail on Friday about his own evidentiary hearing and motion for direction in a Vermilion County, Indiana, courtroom. Hendry started with an accusation that because he and his cameraman observed 4 to 5 police officers in the lobby of the building and a different 4 to 5, maybe a dozen total, police officers stationed in the courtroom, that the state was purposely and willingly attempting to intimidate Hendry. The YouTuber, who has been incarcerated for over 2 weeks after having his bail revoked, pledged that he would not stand down from his fight for freedom and could not be intimidated by the police presence. Turning to the hearing, Hendry mentioned that the prosecution wanted to bring up his past convictions and introduce his criminal history at trial. Hendry said this would paint him in the worst light, as the prosecution would then be able to introduce his convictions of drug dealing, driving while under the influence, and for domestic abuse. The domestic abuse charge was strange at best, as Hendry said that the charge was no one's business but his and his current girlfriend's, and that they had worked it out between them. He made a point of claiming that the girlfriend did not press charges and that the state was forced to press charges based on the law. For the DUI and drug dealing charges, Hendry again glossed them over as being marijuana-related. While marijuana dealing and driving while under the influence are still crimes in the state, Hendry again seemed to indicate that they were low-level crimes and should have no bearing on his current stalking charges. Hendry did not, as a citizen journalist, reveal if his past criminal history would be presented at trial. Instead, he rallied against the judge apparently deciding to keep his no-bond status in place. Hendry argued that the Indiana state constitution guarantees bond to every prisoner. While he could not back it up with case law, he did cite cherry-picked statutes that indicated that he was being held in jail illegally, as he determined himself not a flight risk, as he showed up to every hearing dressed nicely and clean-shaven. He again claimed that his lack of bond was a punitive measure, stating that the state was seeking to punish him by keeping him in jail until his November 19, 2024 trial. Addressing the special consideration motion, Hendry explained it as the state bringing up his jail addresses being played on YouTube. He claimed that the judge admonished the prosecution for seeking copies of the videos from Hendry and his cameraman, as all calls are already recorded by the jail and could be accessed by the state. Hendry took a tone indicating that the state would be working against he and his followers at his trail in late November. He warned his fans that if they were to come, the state may limit seating, and he wanted his fans to assure reserved seating for his wife and his girlfriend should that happen. Hendry got some good news on Friday, as his association with Jose Chili DeCastro has paid off as donations to his GoFundMe, as briefly promoted by DeCastro, have resulted in $389 in donations for the month, to take the individual win for October. And we're back. Well, that was another powerful edition of our newscast featuring hard-hitting stories and, oh hell, it was the usual crap written by a hack hiding behind an AI. But it was still good. If you'd like to hang out with that hack, we do have regular chats 6 days a week where a cast of strange people usually talk over each other and ignore whatever drunk person videos we're featuring that day. Our Good/Bad Life Choices Theater airs Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, while our You Name It Theater airs Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find both shows on our ReallyCoolNews YouTube channel. Fans are able to name both shows with a $10 donation to either our GoFundMe, Cash App, or PayPal accounts. Show names must abide by YouTube's TOS. The shows are a lot of fun and a great way to meet fellow members of the overall community, and the naming scheme is a great way to show your support to our cause and keep the lights on at the paper for another month. With that, we're out of here. Have a wonderful Saturday,